in order to cope with the world that we live in, the complexities of the world, the challenges and problems of the world, so often we fall back on control, certainty, a sense of knowing, trying to simplify things, and getting into polarities, right? Like this belief that like, I know this to be right and this is true and they're wrong, and that is sort of comfortable place, but it's actually not ultimately a comfortable place. It's a short-term comfortable place, but ultimately what our soul is longing for is for us to come into wholeness, and wholeness really is inclusive of everything. And wholeness honors the complexity of the world. It honors the complexity of our lives. It honors the complexity of us, ourselves, just as a human being, that we are complex and we're multifaceted. And so our ego defense mechanism comes in and wants everything to be tidy and certain, to know things, to be able to categorize things, put people into boxes, to put things into categories, to say that's right and that's wrong. But it's really a painful place to live because it cuts off from people. It objectifies us. It puts us into the categories of like how useful are people? How useful am I? It tries to squish us down into tiny boxes and squish other people down into tiny boxes. And ultimately, it's not even living in reality, because the reality is that we are nuanced and complicated and that there's so much in between. So this idea like that, even just when it comes to like a particular characteristic, like disrespect and respect, like we have this idea that there's like disrespectful people and respectful people, and they're on these two ends of the spectrum, when actually most of us are like kind of in between. Sometimes being really respectful, sometimes really not, and sometimes being kind of just like wishy-washy in the middle. It's like this dance that we do, and that's true for almost every aspect of humanity, is that we aren't actually paralyzed. We aren't actually polarized. We aren't actually in one extreme or the other. We're some messy mixture of all of it. And at some point, we have to come to acknowledge that when we cut off from any aspect of ourselves or any aspect of humanity, it causes us to suffer, because our soul is longing for wholeness, for integration, for a sense of being one. So if you notice yourself uncomfortable with all of the polarization, the pulling, the pushing, the trying to get you to fit into a box or a category or choose this person, zero-sum game thinking, and it's uncomfortable for you, it's because it's not the way we're meant to live. We want wholeness.